tonight as Voices from the Grave commences in about 3 minutes' time. The search for evil continues. Here's what they're on the trail of.
You don't belong here.
Some spirit manifestations only involve auditory phenomena, with no figure or shape visible. The spectre being unwilling or unable to show themselves, but still desperate to maintain and make contact with the living world. Perhaps a more sinister reason for this reticence is that an unseen and disembodied haunting is much more frightening, leaving the witness desperate to make sense of the unexplainable. Paranormal investigators often use electronic recording devices in an attempt to capture these audible occurrences. Sometimes known as electronic voice phenomena, or EVP, they are sections of static noise on a radio or recording that some listeners interpret as the voices of ghosts or spirits. Tonight's location is said to hold this type of phenomena. 2 members of staff working late as watchmen in the empty echoing building, one making the customary custodial checks around the building, the other manning the office. As with many old and foreboding buildings, some rooms and areas of the library had reputations for being places that staff shunned or refused to work in alone. One such area was the old telephone exchange. On reaching this particular room, the watchman found all of the connector plugs pulled out. An unusual state, as one was always left connected to the office. He replaced that plug, and as he did, the exchange phone rang once. Answering it, he was disturbed to hear disembodied eerie noises. Replacing the phone, he thought nothing more of it, until he returned to the office to find his colleague in a highly distressed state. It appeared that the office phone had rung shortly after he had set out on his round. But how, when all the plugs had been pulled out? Instead of eerie noises, the other man had heard a clear and bloody, chilling, cold voice speak, "You are dead, and I am coming for you." Both men were adamant that neither of them were making up their side of this terrifying but intriguing story. Had they unwittingly intercepted a message from beyond the veil, from some devilish entity? Tonight, the Most Haunted team will attempt to recreate this alarming event and persuade this malevolent spirit to manifest itself once more. And maybe, just maybe, we might catch his voice on tape.
It is going to be a fascinating night tonight, and here with us in the studio for most of the show, I'm delighted to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Shepherd. Medium, clairvoyant, and of course psychic artist. And Brian, you were out with the team last night down at Dockside in that old abandoned warehouse, and at one point you were nailed into a coffin.
Yeah.
What did you see and sense with your intuition, with your powers during that experience?
Well, by the way, prematurely nailed into a coffin.
Yes.
I had to remind myself as that was happening. And it was a chilling experience, I must say, especially when the nails went in, as you can imagine. But inside, a very strange experience, because I could still, in a way, obviously feel outside the coffin. My senses, transcended that coffin. And I'm sure that, we were joined. Now, I know that the audience were looking at the screens and probably saw nothing at all. But what I felt was something else. And you heard people cry out, "Is that you?" There's footsteps, there's dragging. It felt almost like a body, if that makes sense, was being dragged, by the right hand side of me.
And we could hear some of those noises,
yeah.
But we could see quite clearly from the outside shot of all 6 coffins, there was nobody around. There was nobody moving near you.
Nothing there at all. But that wasn't the sense that I got. I got that there were people walking around, doing something, busy, dragging things, making noises outside of the coffin that I was in.
And that was on the visual location. Back here, very quickly, there was all kinds of activity.
Yeah.
You were at the heart of it there with that seance session.
That's right.
And the audience were following, lights around and hearing noises.
Yeah. You're asking me what I'm thinking? Did something actually return with us? I believe it did. I believe it did.
Okay. Can we take a very quick look at your psychic art that you've done from the Central Library tonight? You visited there. This is the image. And there's a figure in the left-hand corner as we look at the screen. What did you sense there? And is that a malevolent presence, do you think?
Yeah, in other words, if you hide that for a moment, there basically is what you have. If you walked in the door, that's what you're looking at. Tiers of books. I was in there moments before, suddenly I realized there was a figure there. But not of this world, not of this time, but of another time. A darker, much darker time.
OK, thank you for the moment. Brian Shepherd, more from Brian later in the programme. It's that time in the show when we go for the very first time to tonight's vigil location. We are in Liverpool, in the northwest of England. We are looking for voices from the grave, and Yvette Fielding and the team have assembled there already in the Central Library. Let's go straight there. Yvette, the best of luck to you all tonight, and be safe.
Thanks very much, Paul. I just want to show you this location. It is fabulous. I think I have to say it's probably one of my most favourite locations ever. Chris, pan the camera round, have a look. It's this huge dome, and listen to, I'm going to stand in the middle here just now, just watch. I don't know if Dave, can you pick this up on sound? Come and stand, do you have to stand in the middle, Dave? No. Hello. How echoey is that? It's bizarre. It's the most, isn't it?
It is
bizarre.
Very bizarre. And of course we have to be careful of this, don't we?
Yeah.
Weird acoustics, because we can hear a sound, but of course it could be coming from over there.
Yeah.
It could be coming from here. So we're very much reliant on our ears being spread around, maybe David as well. But other than that, it's going to be very tough in this particular room.
Let's go back to the side because it's not as echoey there, and it's probably easier for everybody to kind of make out what we're saying. There you go. One thing that hits you as soon as you walk into this location is the dark wood, and obviously, the big clock here at the top, and the Victoriana of the whole place, the architecture, the spiral staircase. It sort of reminds me a little bit of, Harry Potter. If they'd had a library, this is what it would have looked like. It's a truly fantastic piece of architecture. I absolutely love it. But more importantly, Billy, you're with us this evening. Do you sense anything here, as we're standing and talking?
As soon as I came into the building, it's a complete change of atmosphere. It's very charged. And I don't know whether you want me to start relating a few
absolutely.
things. I was confronted by quite a small lady, very well spoken. And I don't know, I'm presuming she had something to do with the actual building in the 19th century. All that she told me was, my name is Sarah, and my husband was important. So I'll know more later on when she comes back to me and I can talk to her.
Okay, so she's definitely with us.
Here.
Now, I just want to ask this question straight away. Last night, we were told via the Ouija board that we were going to have an evil or horrible entity that was going to follow us. Are you picking that up at all in here? Do you pick up a sort of negative energy?
I can't say that I do, Yvette.
Right, okay.
It's a different kind of force field. As the night progresses, who knows what will happen? I don't know yet.
Okay, well, we'll see. It's early days. It's going to be very difficult for you, particularly in this area.
Yeah.
How are you going to monitor this?
Well, I've been in here most of the day, and David's been in here as well, so we can actually tell that if you're on the edge and you actually hear any noises, it can either be something right next to you or at the far end. So the noise is travelling over this dome here, so at least we can work out that.
And you can also hear little taps at the end of when you speak, which could be interpreted as that tapping noise that we hear. But saying that, just before we were ready to start this investigation, we were all stood very quietly, and you could hear thumping, but nobody could actually tell where it was coming from, and that's the most difficult thing.
It's almost like a heartbeat, and you can hear it's over there. It's boom, 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 boom.
Oh, really? No, that's the end.
No, listen, stop. Everyone stop talking. Right the way through you talking.
I thought it was just the end of our speech.
And just before Billy started to talk, it looked like over there, or it sounded like sort of books moving, like someone was moving books. That could have been someone over here moving that sounded like that, but it...
Shall we... There it is. Let's all stand still. Where's the best place for you to take sound on this? Anywhere, because it's happening now, that tapping. Do you want to stand in the middle? Okay. I'm going to call out and see what we get. If you're here with us now, please make a tapping noise. How many of you are here? Tap out how many of you are here, please. There are 5 of you. Can you confirm? 2 for yes, 1 for no. There are 5 of you.